my lovelies, Elsie here with a read for you. It is a collective read. I think it's probably going to be based on the full moon energies that are coming up. We have a full moon coming up on the 5th. It is a supermoon, the beaver moon, and it is the brightest of the year. And it is in Taurus. Now, Taurus is opposite of Scorpio, and right now we know the sun is in Scorpio, the moon is in Taurus. And although this is, I don't know if it is or it isn't, an astrological thing, and I don't really care, but what I am is an energy reader, and for me it's like, those are opposing signs, right? So it feels like the moon and the sun are opposing each other, and it's like fighting for space, or something that has been dark is going to come to light. It feels like you are going to be releasing some things here, Taurus, that have come to the surface. It's like somebody walks in and throws on the light, right? And in Scorpio season, where the sun is right now, Scorpio is lighting up everything that is in the moon energy. So I feel like, it's about money and values and the body and simple comforts, right? That's all the Taurus energies. And I feel like the new moon is going to ask you to ditch what's draining you and just keep what's quality. So you're going to be releasing what doesn't make sense. And it is going to be a purge, and it could be emotional, because Scorpio is on the other end of the astrological wheel, right? So what can you release, Taurus? I think that's what this reading is going to be about. And how can you get through this full moon? Even if you're not a Taurus, even if you're not a Scorpio, no matter what sign you are, this is a collective reading. And so I'm going to call it the signs and symbols to know to help you know what's going on. And we will figure it out together. Let's figure it out. Let's find out what's going on for the collective, please, during this full moon. We've got hold your vision. I'm going to say that there's somebody here who needs to know that the vision you have is the right one for you. Don't let people try and tell you what is good for you. It says you're very close to achieving your goal. So it feels like there is something here that you are holding your vision on. Don't let people talk you out of it, my friends, whoever you are. And it feels like you're coming very close to bringing something full circle, I would say, because we are looking at full moon energy. And then we have don't let your past hold you back, the south node. So I don't know if you know what your south node is, but it looks like whatever you've done in the past, maybe last life, but it could be last week as well. It doesn't have to be as deep as the past life. But I'm going to say that whatever has held you back in the past from not releasing whatever doesn't serve you in order to be able to move forward with whatever it is that you have planned for you, hold your vision, my friend. Don't let people talk you out of it. And if it's something that you really want, don't let the past hold you back. Maybe it didn't work out last time, or maybe you didn't show it to people because you didn't think they would approve. We've got emotions are running high. It is a supermoon, right? We've got the supermoon here. We're just going to leave that right there. Let's get some cards and let's talk about tarot. I think I'm just going to throw 9 cards and we'll see what comes of that. Tell me about the collective, please, during this full moon energy. Full moons are always about the release. They're about the purge. They're about really looking at, when it comes to earth energies, whether that's Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, it's always about sorting things out. What do I really need? What is really, and Taurus is all about quality, right? It's all about, even if it's just even if it's just the simple comforts of life, Taurus wants to know, is this going to cost too much to maintain it for me? What can I release in order to become comfortable? Taurus is always about being comfortable. It's not always about buying gobs and gobs of things or having gobs and gobs of money. Taurus just wants to be comfortable and have the creature comforts. Let's talk about the full moon. Tell me about the collective. Tell me how this full moon is going to affect the collective here. We've got, we start off with Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We've got Leo energy that enters the chat here. It's Strength card. And we've got the Two of Pentacles. I think that's what it says here. It's kind of, it says hold your vision. You're close to achieving your goal, and don't let your past hold you back. I feel like the Queen of Pentacles is looking over at this, and the Strength card is here. Don't let your past hold you back. The Strength card can be about holding back until you find enough courage to be able to move forward with whatever decision you're making. Taurus, I feel like with these 3 Pentacles here that you are building foundations, or you're beginning to, or maybe you're testing the strength of a foundation that you're building for yourself. With the Queen of Pentacles being here, being the first card out, right? It feels like somebody here is focusing on themselves, on their health, on their material wealth, and literally looking at what I can sacrifice in order, like the Queen of Pentacles is always going to multiply everything that is given to him or her. You can see there's a rabbit, right? Multiplying. But I think that you're looking at multiplying your stability, multiplying, good health, whatever it is. It feels like you are ready to find the courage to make some decisions about maybe releasing some things under the full moon. And I think that you've been holding back from doing that, but I think that this full moon is going to encourage you to release what is holding you back. We've got the King of Cups. We've got the Queen of Swords. Okay. All right. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. We've got the Queen of Wands. We've got the Three of Wands. And we've got the King of Swords. Wow. So we've got some really heavy energies here. We've got the Five of Wands. Taurus, I feel that you have been in some indecision about what is supposed to go on at this time. I feel like this full moon is going to help you make some decisions that are grounded and solid, that are practical for your time in this life, for your way of life. I feel like you are about to find the courage to be really honest with yourself about what you want for your future. I think you're looking at possibly investing some of your time, effort, and energy into something new, maybe a new project, a new job, a new beginning. It feels like that you see the value in investing something. You might ask somebody about, if it's a financial investment, I'm going to say find a financial investor, someone who can give you advice about your financial investments here. Don't try and do it alone. We are still in the retrograde shadow, and I feel like, I think I know that Mercury goes into retrograde in Scorpio, but I think it goes around the 9th. Maybe if I'm wrong, you can correct me. But I think it goes in around the 9th. Right now we're in the shadow phase, which is a really kind of rocky time, right? I don't know about you, but the reason that all of my readings have been coming out so slowly is because I got a new camera and the damn thing is making me crazy. I keep having to run back to the shop where I bought it to get more advice and why isn't this working? It's really starting to irritate me. So I feel like it's time that you are honest with yourself about the future, and to find the courage to make some decisions that are going to be stable and grounded, but are only going to fit you. So I think that we're going through a process of elimination. We have the King and the Queen of Swords here. The King of Swords is the one who isn't scared to make the cuts, right? The King of Swords is always going to face everything head on and is going to make the necessary cuts regardless of how you feel about it. The Queen of Swords is a little less intimidating than the King, but is also going to tell the truth. However, a little more diplomatically. The King of Swords doesn't really care if you don't like the truth. I'm just going to give it to you as it is. You're going to have to digest that. But the Queen of Swords is the person who's going to be a little more diplomatic. I want to leave you in balance. I want things to be harmonious, but I'm still going to tell you the truth. Nonetheless, I'm going to tell you the practical truth about how I feel about a situation. I feel like somebody here is going to be being honest about their feelings that they've been keeping under the surface. I think the reason you've been keeping it under the surface because you don't want to cause friction. And I don't think that the Queen of Wands is about friction, but I do feel it's about being bold. And I feel like somebody here is somebody who's walked through fire. So you could be somebody who is an Aries, a Sagittarius, or a Leo, maybe a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Look, everybody's here. This could pertain to you or not. I mean, take it as it resonates for you. It feels like somebody here is really finding the courage to speak up, but to speak up in a way that is going to be practical, that is going to be with precision, I'm going to say, with the Queen of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. And some people are going to be pissed with you. And I think you're going to do it anyway, because I feel like you're in this energy of release, right? So don't hold back. Don't let the past hold you back. I think that the reason that you haven't spoken up before now is because you're trying to be emotionally intelligent. You, I feel, are looking into the future, and I think there are some changes that you're going to make in the future here, my friends. If you are the person who is in your fire energy, whether that's Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Jupiter, I feel like you are the person who is looking into the future and is going to make cuts. You're going to have to make cuts in order to be able to get the thing that you want. You've already made a decision of making some sort of a cut and making a bold move. Not everybody's going to like that bold move, but you know, it is what it is. I'm just going to say that's what the King and the Queen of Swords would say. It is what it is, right? You are very close to achieving some sort of a goal. And for you, I think it is streamlining your life, because the Queen of Pentacles, however focused on themselves, is about to multiply. I'm really going to focus on me, and so it means you're going to multiply good health. You're going to multiply your business is going to grow. You're going to focus on you. You're going to focus on your glow up. You're going to focus on your home and doting on yourself, I feel. And I feel like you have to have the courage to make some decisions that are coming up that are going to be just for you. Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, they're going to be just for you. And other people possibly are not going to be all that happy with the decisions that you make. We've got these emotions running high here, right? The supermoon is here. And when the supermoon gets closer to the earth and it's the brightest supermoon of the year, it does tend to, I mean, you know, it can tend to affect us, right? It affects the tides. Why wouldn't it affect us? All we are is nervous cucumbers, right? Our composition is a lot of water as humans, right? So I think that you're going to have to be bold and make a move, right? You're going to have to be bold and make a move that is going to fit you. It's going to be good for your future, but because you have to be honest and courageous to move into the future, I feel like you are going to be speaking intelligently, emotionally intelligently, but with truth and honesty, and trying to keep things harmonious, letting someone or some people know that you are going to build a future, or you're going to build a stability, some sort of stable foundation, maybe without them. Tell me why the Two of Pentacles is here. We've got the Nine of Pentacles. There you go. I feel like you are confident enough. It feels like that you are in a place in your life where you have built enough financially, you've built enough confidence, you've built a good reputation, you're taking really good care of yourself, maybe your health, wealth, or material wealth possibly. The Devil is here. You've been doing something obsessively. And I think that you have been working obsessively on yourself, or that you have been building money obsessively, working on your business obsessively. I don't think that it's to a point where we need to worry about it, but I think that the way that you got to the Nine of Pentacles, my friend, collective, is because you are working obsessively on something here that is bringing you a lot of happiness. So I think your decision is, I'm just going to keep doing what I do because I feel like it's working for me. I feel like there are people in your life who are looking at you as someone who might be quite selfish with your time, but I don't know that you really have to worry about that. It feels like you're really working toward a future that is stable, that is clear, that is honest, that is truthful, one that you can live with. I'm just going to switch gears here for a moment, because it does feel like somebody here is about to be really honest with some feelings that have been hiding under the surface. The King of Cups is here. Somebody here has been stoic. It could be you. It could be someone else outside of you. But the King of Cups is the one who usually holds back. Because they are emotionally intelligent, they're just going to wait. They're going to observe, which is the Queen and the King of Swords. They're going to observe. They're going to wait. They're going to gather the information. And I'm not going to say anything at this moment, but I feel like it's something I probably should say, because in the past, don't let your past hold you back, South Node. And you could be a South Node, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. In the past, I didn't say anything. And so let's talk about the King of Cups. What's being held under the surface here? Yeah, the only reason that you're holding this under the surface, collective, is because you want to remain in balance. You want things to remain harmonious. But we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. And we have the Ten of Wands. So I think that what you've been carrying around with you silently is that there is some sort of unrequited love in a situation. It does feel like it is romantic. It feels like you're trying to keep balanced. I want to say that there is somebody that you want to be honest with about your feelings, but you're holding back, and it's it's a very heavy emotional burden that you end up carrying around with you. Tell me about the Queen of Swords. It feels like somebody here is going to be honest. Look, it could be someone who's going to be honest with you if you've been holding back, or you're going to be honest with someone if they've been holding back. We've got the 7 of Cups, we've got the 6 of Pentacles, and we've got the 10 of Pentacles. So it does feel like whatever is going to be said is going to cause emotional overwhelm. I feel like you are going to say it. It feels like you're hoping for reciprocal energy, but I have a feeling this is going to be a one-way conversation, collective. I feel like you're going to state your case, tell the person that you value them, that you see them as a long-term connection, that you see them as someone who you would love to give your emotional reciprocal energy to. And it's not that you don't have your choice of the bunch. I feel like you are spoiled for choice as it pertains to emotional partners, but I feel like you're choosing this person. Now, I don't think that if you are the Empress that this is you. We do have 1, 2, 3 queens. The only queen that we don't have out here is the Queen of Cups, and that's the one who's keeping their feelings hidden, right? So I feel like that there is a person, possibly for some of you, that you really value, that you're hoping is going to want to take interest for the future. They could be a Libra, they could be a Taurus, a Virgo, a Capricorn, possibly a Scorpio. It does feel like this Ace of Pentacles is ready to be planted, I'm going to say. It feels like it is ready for investment. Yeah. If this is a financial investment for somebody here, I feel like this King of Swords is somebody who can advise you on what's best to do with this ace. It feels like somebody here is deciding they're going to make a decision to leave the crossroads wherever they've been stuck, and they're going to take some action. But they're worried that it's not going to work out. They're worried that they're going to have regret if they do end up dropping this pentacle into the ground. Somebody here is holding back because they're trying to keep everything together, I'm going to say. It feels like you could be an Aries, you don't have to be, but I feel like somebody here is in their Emperor energy. Whether you're a woman or a man, you're in your masculine energy, holding it all together, and really wanting to, the things the Emperor never goes in unless they're going to win. So I feel like you're waiting, you're reserving your energy, you're reserving your time because it doesn't feel right. Something feels off. If this is the romantic thing that you're investing in, something feels off. That's why you haven't been pursuing or investing. If this is a financial thing, I think that if it does feel off in your gut, I would say that you're trying to hold it together, but you feel like you might be regretful if you take action. I feel like this is the person here that you need to speak with. Your local Aries, your local Aquarius, your local smarty pants, right? Somebody who is going to be able to give you advice. We've got the Page of Cups, we've got the High Priestess, and we've got the 5 of Wands. So I think that the reason that you're in indecision or holding back or arguing with the self is because your intuition isn't quite developed yet. I feel like somebody here is someone who maybe deals cards, like reads tarot, someone who has a bit of psychic energy, but it feels like it's not really, maybe you're not listening to it. I would say with the Page of Cups here that there's a spark of intuition here, but it feels like the reason that you're in indecision about what to do at this time, whether this is about speaking up to someone about your feelings or about investing financially, is like something is off. Like it feels like you're not really listening to your intuitive energies here. It feels like somebody wants to make a big, bold move for their future, whether that is financially or in love. I feel like you are somebody who is looking into the future about where do I go from here. We've got the Knight of Pentacles, the 8 of Wands, and the 3 of Swords. But if I take a shot at the future, what if it doesn't work out? What if I'm disappointed? I feel like you do want to take a shot at something, whatever it is that's in your mind's eye for the future. I feel like you do want to take a shot at it here, but the Knight of Pentacles has you moving really slowly, reassessing the situation every few days. I feel like that it is something that you need more information on. You don't want it to move really fast because you know it could crash and burn if you move really fast here. The Judgment card tells me, though, that the universe requires you to make a decision. So I feel like if you are making a decision about signing a contract, about investing money, about buying a house, about getting a mortgage, something like that, I feel like, first of all, you need to figure out what is it that you really need. what really makes sense to release, what really makes sense in terms of what is draining your energy, what is quality, because look at all the pentacles, right? What is really going to be the simple comfort? So instead of being house poor, maybe you want to go with a 3-bedroom instead of a 10-bedroom. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's going to be about your money or values, maybe your health, but it's going to be about what is going to make me happy. 10 of Cups, because I've been working really hard to build my business, my reputation, my health, my comfortability, trying to glow up on the outside. What is it exactly that I need to let go of in order to be able to make this decision? Because something right now doesn't feel right. Something feels like it's off. And if it is, then that's when you call in the person who can help you, whether it's a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a doctor, or somebody who is a financial planner. I don't see the King of Pentacles, so the King of Swords is probably your best bet when it comes to financial planning. I feel like you want to make a bold move. It says be bold and make the first move. I think that that's what you want to do, but I also feel like emotions are running high. So I'm going to say that it feels like because of some sort of situation that didn't work out that is really plaguing you emotionally, weighing heavy on you, that you are not making a move. In order to be able to keep your balance, keep your harmony and your justice, you're not making a move. So instead of not making a move, I feel like you want to say something, and I think you should, but I think that you should get the buy-in of somebody who really knows more than you. It's always good to call in people who are smarter than you, and there's always people out there who are going to be smarter than you. If you're the person who is trying to find the courage to speak up to somebody about how you feel about them, let's talk about that, because I feel like if you do plant the pentacle, it does multiply because the Queen of Pentacles is here. So I feel like this energy does multiply, and it feels like it multiplies pretty quick. It goes from the 6 to the 10, but between the 6 and the 10 is the 4, and the 4 is being shut down, shut off, not sharing. It's like being miserly with your time or your energy. So I feel like I'm going to ask, are you going to finally find the courage to say something to somebody here? We've got the Wheel of Fortune. I don't think you're going to have to find any courage, because I feel like it's destiny. I feel like things are going to change. And I don't think you're going to have to do much to have to change this. Look at that. What's going to change is the connection between you and another. So if we are talking about emotional stuff, if we're talking about a love connection, if we're talking about romantic stuff, if you're dealing with a Gemini, a Scorpio, a Taurus, an Aquarius, or a Leo, it feels like, or a Sagittarius, it feels like, or maybe it's Sagittarius season or Scorpio season, it feels like the Lovers is here. This is a destined connection. I don't think you're going to have to say anything. If you are the person who is not used to pursuing, I don't think that you will have to say anything, because I think you're just going to let destiny take its course, which means the Queen of Pentacles will be the one who just stays their position. Why? Because that's the pre-Empress energy. The Queen of Pentacles is learning how to be the Empress, and the Empress doesn't chase. So I feel like somebody here needs to stay the course, do what you're doing, focus on you, multiply your pentacles, get into good health, do whatever it is that you're doing for yourself, and let the Wheel of Fortune take care of this. Yep, and then somebody will pursue. Look, I can't even write that shit. I love tarot. If you didn't know, it amuses me. It always amuses me. The King of Wands is going to pursue this. Whoever the King of Wands is in their masculine energy, whether it's a woman or a man. This person is going to pursue, but you need to wait for them to get out of their knight energy and into their king energy. I'm not telling you to wait. I'm just saying that destiny is taking its course, and you can't push the wheel, and the wheel is going to do what the wheel is going to do. And this is all going to happen in divine timing and in divine destiny. So I feel like you need to let go of some things. I feel like what you need to let go of is possibly hunting this person down and talking to them about your feelings, or sending them some sort of long diatribe. Ladies, stop it. Stop doing that shit. Stop sending them paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs in text. Let this nature take its course. Let destiny show up, and let things come together, change, and in a destined way, instead of chasing. Because if you're still practicing to be the Empress, which the Queen of Pentacles is, because she's in the pre-Empress energy, and we don't have the Queen of Cups, which means that we don't have a full-on Empress, somebody who's learning to be the Empress. If you don't want to flip the polarity, and again, I'm just going to say it one more time, that if you don't want to flip the polarity, which means you don't want to put the person that you're interested in their feminine energy, and you don't want to flip into your masculine energy, then please don't pursue. If you're interested in that person being in their feminine energy so you can pursue in your masculine, then please go ahead and pursue. But understand that regardless of the body types, the body you came in or the meat suit that you're wearing, it is about energy balance. Feminines and masculines. I don't care what your body type is. So you have to balance. It has to all be in balance because the Wheel of Fortune is here. It's a destined balance here. And I feel like somebody is going to choose, right? The Lovers is a choice. Somebody is going to choose to pursue. So I feel like there's somebody here who sees the value in something, whether that is investing money into something that's at the very beginning or dropping a seed. I feel like even though you are the Emperor, that you're being very careful, because that's what the Emperor does. You're being very careful not to jump the gun, because emotions are high, because the moon is full. And I think you want to make a big, bold move, but I don't think that you're ready. I think that the Emperor is saying, but what if? And if you're saying what if, then please call someone in, a second set of eyes for the contract, a second set of eyes for the investment, and make sure that somebody else is going to give you some advice. For those of you who are looking for advice about the relationship part, I'm just going to suggest a counselor or a psychologist or a psychiatrist or somebody that you can speak with. Look, I can't even. The moon is here because we're in the moon energy, right? When the full moon comes up, of course, this is a full moon here, and it's deeply emotional, all of it, whether it's financial or romantic. It is all deeply emotional, and it feels like things are not as they seem, which means you don't know what the outcome is. So stop assuming that you do. Just make sure that you get help along the way, and it's time for you to release what you need to release in order to keep the things of value, right? The Ten of Pentacles shows up in the middle of the read just because it is supposed to. I feel like the Ten of Pentacles tells me keep the things of value and get rid of the things that you don't see value in. And when we cut away the things that are clouding our judgment, then we can get things together. We can get it together with this Emperor energy, and we can make a clear decision. Even when the moon is out, we can make a clear decision about what comes next. Look, I can't even plan that good, right? Oh, look at this. Oh my God, look at this. Look at that. We got the Two of Cups and the Ace of Cups. It looks like if it's a romantic thing, you are going to be asked out on a date, possibly. Something new is going to begin after the full moon, after you release the things that you don't need. Maybe those things that you need to release are asking for it, needing it, right? But the full moon being here, we don't know what's going to happen. Look, the universe has you. In a moment of alchemy, the universe has you. The way will be opened for you, and when you get there is when you'll see it. Look, the universe wants you to jump. Jump without the net. How bad do you want it, my friends? How bad do you want it? So I feel like the Two of Pentacles tells me that the Two of Cups tells me that you will be deepening your commitment to something, whether it's the financial thing or a romantic thing. Hold your vision, my friend. You are this close to achieving whatever it is that you want, but don't let your emotions run too high over the full moon. And I'm not telling you not to cry, because look, it's already in my energy. And I'm already a blubber face. I think I spent the last 2 nights in tears, and just over many things, not just any one thing, but many things. So if you need to release the emotions so they don't run too high, right? King of Cups is here. It's all it's going to do is it's going to make you emotionally intelligent. All right, I'm going to leave this right here. Oh, look at this. Step out of your comfort zone. Okay, I'm going to stop pulling cards. Oh no, look. New Moon of Taurus, prosperity lies ahead. Look, it's going to happen for you if you step out of your comfort zone to do whatever it is that you're going to do. I'm just going to leave that right there. We got to go. Can read forever. I'm going to go. Thank you, Collective, for being here and watching. You guys have yourself a beautiful full moon. Take care. Bye-bye.